Well, I'm glad you told that story because I have wanted to know where he got the England from. And I knew he was from Texas, so I knew it wasn't. He couldn't have been from England. I mean, listen to him talk, but I enjoyed that story. Now I know I ain't ever got to wonder anymore.
John, the funniest thing one of the funniest memories I ever had in the studio. There was a young woman, prominent songwriter in town, and she was from Australia. And she was big in the pop world, and she wanted me to sing some country male demos. So I came in, and the lyric had the word your, Y-O-U-R.
Yeah.
And I sang it the way you do if you're from Tyler, Texas. And
right.
So I sang your. And she said, no, it's your. And I said, no, it's your. And she was Australian. I said, there's something hilarious. We're standing only in America. Can you be standing in Tennessee and have a Texan and an Aussie arguing over the English language? There's something hilarious about that.
Oh, God, man. I had a thing like that. When I went to Los Angeles, they were very, very prejudiced towards people from the South. It was right in the middle of the civil rights movement. We were the evil of the world.
Yes, sir.
So we try to lose that a little bit. Well, one time I was actually reading a eulogy at a funeral, and the word O-U-R came up. Our.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, ire. And at that point, it flipped, and I went, you know what, John? You're from Texas. You need to stop this nonsense, boy. You really do. This is how you speak. And if these people have difficulty with that, let them have the difficulty with it. But it ain't your problem. And that's when I realized, I ain't dressing this stuff up anymore. You know, I talk.
You making money, they don't care how you talk. They climb on your back. Yeah.
Well, I had a funny thing the other week. Last week, I did another film. And so my character is very dark, existentialist kind of a thing. I mean, it's dark. And so I'm reading these lines thinking, you know what? This just simply doesn't resonate with me talking like this. So this has got a voodoo flavor to it. This needs to be some Louisiana in there. And so I told the guy, I said, this is what I want to do. And he said, well, okay, let's hear it. And I did it. And then he said, do it the other way. And I did it the other way. I said, no, keep the Louisiana thing. You know, instead of, are you here for this job? It's like, you here for the job? You know, they just, it's like, yeah. So I got to do that whole thing like that. And I loved it.
Yeah, I used to have the Louisiana drawl. That's where I'm originally from, but for the most part, I don't have that drawl anymore.
Yeah,
that Cajun accent. I mean, I can get it back if I am with somebody who is Cajun and they're talking it. I can pick it up. I can pick it up pretty quick. It doesn't take long for me to pick it up. But I was, when I first got into radio in 1985. That was the thing that they wanted me to lose, was that Louisiana accent. Right. They're like, you're in Mountain Home, Arkansas. We don't care about Louisiana. We don't want to hear that. If anything, you need to sound more like Chicago, because a lot of the folks in that town they were retirees from the Chicago area. I was like, I'll just try to lose every accent and just talk normal and maybe just talk Southern. But man, I tell you what, when I first moved here 44 years ago, my Louisiana accent was thick. Yeah. It was real thick.
Of course. I mean, that's the way that you're raised. And I don't know. I find accents to be very, very charming and refreshing. It doesn't make any difference. I mean, you'll hear, I get a kick out of one of my friends. He's up from the Boston area. And he go, yeah, we're going to go down to full 40. And I go, say it again, full 40. Again, one time. It's like, I have the best time with it. It's so cool.
See, there's still some words like 40. I know it's 40, but Louisiana, it's 40.
Yeah.
Quarter. The word Quarter, the 25-cent piece, is not quarter. It is quarter. It's always going to be quarter. New Orleans is New Orleans. It's not New Orleans. This is some of those words that, you learn your whole life to say that way, and you're not going to change it.
There's 42 separate dialects in Louisiana.
Really?
42. And I'll get people to argue, and folks from Slidell or people from New Iberia down by Kaplan, I'll have them arguing with the people from Mamu or up by Keachai. I'll get them all arguing against each other, and it's hilarious because every one of them, you hear a bunch of yelling from people that sound like their mouth was in a car wreck. Can't nobody from the outside understand what they're saying. I'm from East Texas, so I never had a chance. I'm from East Texas, live over here now, so my mouth is all kind of messed up when I'm talking.
You were mentioning the Australian accent.
Yep.
And one time they were talking about Olivia Newton-John, and they said she has such a sweet Australian accent. It's so delightful. And I said, yeah, wait till you hear one of those things angry. And they were like, yeah, I can imagine that's a bit of a challenge.
That was another legend. I totally loved me some Olivia Newton-John. There certain people. For me, it wasn't Elvis. I mean, I was only 8 years old. Yeah, I took it hard, but I really took it hard when Olivia Newton-John passed away. I mean, I went in the mourning, man. It was like when I found out about it, I literally cried. I was like, I can't believe this. But I mean, I grew up, like I told you, in the 70s and 80s. And I mean, Let Me Be There. If you love me, let me know. All those, Please, Mr. Please. If not for you. I mean, that was all big songs for me. And, we would always watch TV. My dad's like, your girlfriend's on. So I would have to come see Olivia every time she came on.
Yep. There's a lot of those people that really did have such a profound effect.
And she did have now that I think about it, she did have a nice, a very calming voice. It was very soft spoken.
I had a friend of mine, the same girl that does the exchanging music with me. She said her favorite film was Xanadu. And I went, okay, that sounds okay. She said, would you watch it with me? And I went, okay. I'd rather watch Blazing Saddles, but yeah, okay, we'll watch Xanadu. I was absolutely knocked out.
I've still never watched it.
I absolutely fell in love with that film. So again, you never know what you're going to get.
I may need to go watch it. I've never watched Xanadu. I mean, I've heard the song, but never watched it.
It's a great film. I mean, I would say that it's really a good film. It's really a great film to watch what these people are capable of doing, because again, we see one side of people. You don't know that they write books. You don't know that they're great equestrians. You don't know all of these things about them. You just get the one element. Man, there's some very talented people out there. And they do things that, I couldn't do. Not at all. I wouldn't even attempt it.
We are all talented. Rhino has told me that a million times. We're all talented in our own way.
Exactly.
And what you can do, they can't do. I mean,
right.
I can tell you, they're not going to have a gold album sitting on their wall.
Well, that's why, people get down on themselves a lot. And they say, well, I sound just like this, or I can sound just like this person. And it's the same thing happened with Tom. They asked him, can you sound, when he went for a recording contract, can you sound like this? And he goes, I can sound like Donald Duck, but why would I? You've already hired this guy. He's already got a name for himself. He doesn't need me to sound like him. And he didn't get the deal.
That's how they think, though. Their only job is to sell. It's like a jeweler in a jewelry store not being able to sell jewelry. I mean, It's like that's all you got to do. We find the rocks. We develop the rocks. We polish the rocks. We bring the rocks. All you got to do is sell it, and then you blame the rocks because they're not flying off the shelf, right?
Dude had one job, right?
One job. That's why I guess that's why NASA must not have been hiring. That's what I tell everybody. He had his Donald Duck story. I was in a major label. I didn't make any friends doing it because I got too much of that Doc Holliday DNA. But on the way out, I told him, "Don't feel bad. It's okay." I remember my first day too. Yeah. As you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming up on an hour, Mr. Coley. Are you still recording nowadays? Are you putting out any fresh music? Are you writing?
Tom and I were talking about that today. I haven't done an album in a couple of years because, again, there's no radio, so there's not really any place that you can play new music. You can sell the CDs at the concerts, but even the people that come to the concerts, I'm very, very selective about the songs that I will play because most of the time they've come to go down memory lane. They want to hear the songs they're familiar with, the songs that meant something to them. If they don't have any relationship to that song, now, so I'll do maybe 2, maybe 3 songs that are new. But we're going to go back and record again because, again, that doesn't mean you stop writing. It doesn't mean that you stop growing. We're just playing a bunch of songs that you're not familiar with.
So you are still touring?
Yeah, tour all the time.
Now, are you touring with Elliot and Walter and all those guys?
I do that with those guys, mainly Ambrosia. We tour Three Dog Night quite a bit now. I go out on my own. I have 2 different hats that I wear. One is acoustic guitar and piano, where I get to play classical music and tell a lot of stories and jokes and things like that. And then I play the 4 songs, maybe the 5 songs, depending on what our time frame is, that I play 5 of the 6. I call them the 6. Those are the ones that were the big ones. Those are the ones that I generally cannot get out from playing. But because we've got a time constraint, I play 4, maybe 5.
I mean, if I go see John Ford Coley and I don't hear Nights of Forever Without You, really love to see you tonight, I'll feel like I've gotten cheated.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I say it doesn't make any difference where I play. I'm relegated to those songs. I have to play.
Speaking of feeling cheated, and this is a quick story. We were all about, my daughter growing up, we were all about Britney Spears. My daughter is named after her. So everybody knows Britney Spears got blonde hair. So she comes to Little Rock. We're in the second, third row. She got black hair. I don't know if it was a wig, don't know what it is, but she does not have blonde hair. So I looked online to see where she was before she came here and where she went after here. And me being the nosy guy, I found, hey, did y'all go, call the radio station? He's like, yeah, man, Britney was great. I'm like, oh, did she have blonde hair? Did she have black hair? He's like, she has blonde hair, dude. I mean, are you nuts? I'm like, okay, no big deal. Called the next venue that she went to. Again, same blonde hair. I'm like, so why in the world did she come to Little Rock and have black hair? I felt like I got cheated because to me that wasn't Britney Spears.
Yeah. Yep.
But
I mean, I worry about that sometimes just on a personal level. Dan sang the majority of the songs that were on the radio. Dan had a great radio voice. I did not. I was another thing. Dan, I love to talk about that because I just did the 50th thing on Really Love to See You Tonight. Dan had what I called, during the time, to his face, a pedantic voice. Everything was on the beat. It dropped right on the beat. So he was just a harmony singer's dream to sing to. As a matter of fact, I got strep throat and on the first album, and I was singing sharp. So Kyle, our producer, said, look, I've never heard you sing sharp before, so I'm going to take you. Dan's coming up to your part where you come in and sing. When you come in and sing, I'm going to drop Dan's voice, and the only thing you're going to hear is the little bit of guitar that you requested. That's it. So when my part came in, I would just start singing. I didn't hear Dan. But because Dan and his phrasing was so familiar to me, I was able to sing it. Now, when I sang a song, I also sang harmony because Dan was not a harmony singer, number one. And there is a deal being a harmony singer and a lead singer. I'm very syncopated. Dan could not get my rhythm. It's like the one song that really had, that I wrote called Gone Too Far, that really went up the charts. Dan was trying to sing the song and he couldn't do it. He could not get the rhythm on this song that I had written. And Kyle said, the song can't be sung. Kyle was the producer, Kyle Lenning. And I said, no, man, it can't. It can. They said, well, show us. So I went out and sang the song. They said, it works. I have no idea how it works. But Dan had to sit there and readjust that song because it was how it started. I don't remember. And Dan had to go, how it all started, I hardly remember. It was just, everything was on the beat. So I almost lost that song because Dan couldn't sing the syncopated parts in it.
Well, you guys had a great career together. Obviously, I mean, I loved me some Dan Seals after you guys went solo, but always never going to forget England Dan and John Ford Coley, man.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Well, we are getting towards the hour mark, and I know you've got other things to do. What we do, Rhino, do you have anything else you want to cover before we do let him go?
I don't. I'm just really proud to have you. This is the inaugural appearance on this show. John, one of the things that we like to do is have you guys come back every 90 days and update them on the shows, throw some sunshine and some attaboys to the shows that you just did between the last time we saw you and when you come back. There's a lot of indie artists who are watching what we're doing, and you're invaluable. The insights, the perspectives, everything that you bring are invaluable. I wished I'd have had this when I was coming up. So, and this is one of those things where we thank you for being here. Love you to death. I'm thinking I'm going to get to see you in October. I think we have some mutual stuff coming up, and I'm aiming to come up there and back you up. I'll be your biggest cheerleader in the crowd. I can promise, pound for pound. Yeah.
And I want to thank you for having that American flag on the wall over there too. So,
always.
I was with a bunch of American heroes the other night at that wedding, and I'm talking guys that had silver stars and bronze stars, and it's like, yes, sir.
So it's the only time you'll see it up and with my hat on. Rest of the time you won't see that. That's how that goes.
Nothing like true American patriotism, man.
I agree. I do agree. So
John,
next time we'll talk about the ancestral stuff that went on. I got a lot of that.
Well,
yes,
like
we
you
love
said,
you. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate
we'll get you back in 90 days, and we'll pick up where we left off.
And just keep calling. You'll eventually get me. I just don't call back that much. So it's like, trust me. You set a time, I'll be there.
Well, you were here. You were absolutely here. What we normally do at the end of the interview, we let the artist choose any song of yours or that you would like for us to play. May play a couple of them. It looks like this interview may be cut into two parts, so we will probably play one in the middle of the first, at the end of the part one and part two. Do you have anything in particular you want us to throw on for you?
We're talking about the American flag. Let's play Soldier in the Rain.
Soldier in the Rain. We will put that here at the end of part two. And for part one, I'll probably play something like Nights Are Forever Without You, or we'll get one of you guys' older classics on for you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys.
John, appreciate you being here with us, man. Welcome to the tribe. And here it is, Soldier in the Rain, right here on the Uncle's Show.